Look, I'm not saying that he's not capable. All I'm saying is that he was like cutting edge 25 years ago. Okay? Like, and he was the naysayer then there. You know, he was like, oh, it's very difficult to learn how to play first base. And that's not the, I mean, you know, look, the reason that this happened, I know why this happened.
Why?
It's because of the brother thing. Okay, look, I know how I know how it is. I'm a brother.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, and we can't do anything separate. What I'm saying is, I'm just saying this is not the team you want to emulate. No offense to the other Manasian. I'm just saying we don't want to be the Angels. Like, I don't want to, like, do what they're doing. Like, this is not, like, the team we should be emulating.
Well, we're not doing what they're doing. We're taking their leftovers.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it's like, I'm not saying he can't do it anymore. He doesn't have anything left to give. I'm just saying, like, been there, done that. This is not... It's not new. It's not cutting edge. This is not what I expected from the Vitello era. Like, you know, this feels more like the Manasian era. Like, and this is what Buster wants? I just don't... Wow, man, we haven't even started recording yet.
I know. And I don't know what we're going to talk about, but like 2 weeks ago, you were all like, we need to surround him with like people who are, you know, have experience.
I didn't mean like John McGraw's best friend. That's not what I meant. But like okay, look, we got to focus. Okay. What are we going to do for the opening?
Bob, hit it.
Welcome to Giant Cocktails, where the baseball is mid, but the cocktails are elite. Here are your hosts, Ben and Matthew Henry.
Welcome to episode 340 of Giant Cocktails. Listen, folks, it's been 2 weeks. We knew that you needed a good Ben rant. We knew it. That's why my brother secretly recorded me off the air. Well, I guess on the air. I didn't know. And you know what? That's fine. We're just going with it, Matthew. We're going with it. You know what else we're going with?
What else are we going with?
Your little factoid.
Okay,
here.
Let's go with it.
Matthew, in 1988, the Giants had a team ERA of 3.40 while finishing fourth in the NL West at 83-79. The following year, the Giants won 92 games behind Kevin Mitchell, the Caveman, Don Robinson, and others, on their way to winning the National League pennant. A 9-game improvement.
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
90 wins. Here we come.
Yeah, because, you know, we finished at 80 and 81 and 81. And it's actually, so, no, 9 games is 90 wins.
Right. That is true. That 1 year, they did win 9 more games than they did the previous year.
So it can be done.
I don't think that's what you're implying here, Matthew, because you say 90 wins, here we come.
Exactly.
That's what you had me say.
Yes.
That's what. Just no, Matt. That's not how this works.
It is how it works. You know, 1 year you're kind of mediocre, and the next year you win 90 games.
Sure. There you go. Sure. Okay.
Then after 340 episodes, you'd think that you'd know me by now. I am always going to believe in the possibility of the Giants doing well.
Well, the low probability.
The high possibility.
Sure. I get it, Matthew. It's been 2 weeks. They haven't had a Ben rant in 2 weeks. They haven't had Matthew's sky-high optimism in 2 weeks. So we got to give him a healthy dose of both. I appreciate it. I enjoy the sentiment. But...
Enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
Thank you, Bob. Exactly. Enough with the banter.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Bob, I am drinking something called a Calamansi Margarita. or Calamansi? And is it spelled with a C or is it spelled with a K? I don't know. But I'm going to talk more about it at the end of the show. And that's what I'm drinking, Bob.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I'm drinking, well, it's wintertime. And during the winter, I like to make winter old fashions. I've probably brought a version of this to the show each winter for the last 5 years, but I don't care. I'm drinking a winter old fashioned, and I'll tell you all about it at the end of the episode.
What was the name of your cocktail?
A winter old fashioned.
Matthew, how many cocktails are you going to make where you just name it after winter, but it's just a regular, like, run-of-the-mill classic cocktail?
I don't know. How many years are we going to do this podcast?
I meant in a row, dude. I meant consecutively.
Oh.
I meant how long are you going to do this?
Oh, well, now that you
in
brought
the
it
current
up,
string of cocktails.
Challenge accepted.
Oh no! You can't do winter cocktails all the way into the summer.
Yeah, on July 24th, it's going to be like winter margarita.
Right. Okay. If you said that same thing to me, I definitely would be drinking winter cocktails well into August. So, touche. Anyway, today is Sunday, December 14th, as we record this podcast. It feels like our last podcast was years ago, Matthew. This stretch of 2 weeks has been the longest long of my life. Like, where is the baseball? Where is it gone?
I thought the winter meetings would give us some excitement and allow us to have some great content to talk about.
Well, is this like a winter meetings where everybody pretends they're a bear? It was like the sleepiest, lamest winter meetings ever. And in fact, it was so lame that nothing happened. Yet somehow we found enough to talk about in our first segment today. So that's the first thing that we're going to talk about today is the winter meetings. But then after that, we're going to get down to brass tacks. We're going to start talking about how free agency is going, because it's December. This is when the big signings happen. This is when the Giants make their move. This is when we elevate ourselves from fourth to third place in the National League West, Matthew. You heard it here first. December is the month. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to show you all of the evidence that proves that that's not actually going to happen. No matter how optimistic Matthew is, and I wish I was. So yeah, we're gonna check in on the free agency market, such as it is now. Not a lot has happened in general, right? Like, I think the biggest names are still out there. None of them have signed. Who's the biggest names that signed? I mean, we can get to this, like Schwarber.
Sam Hentges.
Oh, Pete Alonso. Sam Hentges. No. Matthew, you can't just throw out the name of our entire free agent class in the tidbit section. You can't do that.
Sorry, I got a little excited. I don't know, just really.
Anyway, we're gonna find out who Sam Hentges is later in the show. But before we do that, we have a couple of tidbits to cover. And this first one, Matthew, I agree with it. I agree that this man, that this should have happened. But at the same time, I'm like, this is one of the most underwhelming, like, celebrations, like, that I've felt for the Giants in a long time. And it only just highlights the absurdity of the current situation. And that is that Jeff Kent was elected into the Hall of Fame by the This Is Your Last Chance group. This used to be called the Veterans Committee, but then they got rid of the Veterans Committee, and now this is like the what is this? Like the historical what? Like I don't know. This is the like oops, we missed a couple of guys group,
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, maybe we should revisit this group.
Yeah, maybe because these 16 individuals, 14 of them decided that Jeff Kent deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. And without a doubt, Jeff Kent was, I think, the best hitting second baseman that wasn't in the Hall.
Yeah, I agreed. He deserves it. Absolutely.
But at the same time, they left some other names out. And, chief among them, at least for Giants fans, is Barry Bonds. So Jeff Kent is in the Hall of Fame, but Barry Bonds isn't. And look, it's all because these guys, whoever they are, these old men, are passing judgment on the steroids thing.
Well, of course, that's it. That is my point. I have actually been to the Hall of Fame. I have spent a day perusing the halls of the Hall of Fame. It's a museum. It is the history of baseball in front of you. It celebrates the best players who ever played the game. And the fact that Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, for that matter, did not even get 5 votes shows you how ludicrous this museum really is. This is not like sanctimonious, like place where the holier than thou live. Ty Cobb is a member. Go back in history, he was a noted racist who everybody hated. Like there's just so many examples of character being overlooked for their baseball acumen. And now we've gotten to this point where everyone decides that people like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens don't deserve to be in this museum commemorating the best players to ever play the game. Just drives me crazy. And Jeff Kent absolutely deserves to be in there. He should have gotten more than 45% of the votes from the writers. So I'm glad that oversight was corrected. And it's awesome that he's going to be a Giant in the Hall of Fame. But the fact that Barry Bonds is not in while Jeff Kent is just like adds fuel to the fire of how ridiculous this process is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the answer is, like, because I don't want it to be just numbers based. But this whole like voting thing from other human beings who cannot remove their morality from these decisions is not real either. Or the Hall just needs to say, hey, we choose based on all kinds of reasons. And some of those reasons are matters of character, and these people we have selected to make this decision, we allow to make that decision on our behalf. And one of those two things needs to happen. And but until you're saying like these represent the best players of the era, they don't. They don't. And I'm not saying that era doesn't need a lot of explanation. It certainly does. But there's more to it than just not having Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens at all in the Hall of Fame. Anyway, enough of that. Our other tidbit, I mean, it could have fit into our later segments, but we did want to call it out just because it's about somebody who left the Giants, not joined them. But Marco Luciano was waived by the San Francisco Giants to make room on the 40-man roster spot for a Rule 5 draftee, as it turned out. We didn't know at the time exactly why he was let go, but it turned out the Giants did pick up a Rule 5 draftee, who we will talk about later. But there it is. There ends the Marco Luciano era. He was then claimed by the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think we should expect to see him make the opening day roster for the Pittsburgh Pirates without question. The only question is, what position will he be playing?
Shortstop, for sure.
Watch, he becomes their shortstop of the future, and he's like all-star.
I hope so. I do. Because this is a guy that we've been hearing about for our entire Giants fandom, it seems like. Especially since we've been doing this podcast, right? Marco Luciano has been prospect number one. And to just like unceremoniously just wave him after all of that. And then the writing was on the wall for sure. But I feel like we should look back on his career and just kind of realize how mismanaged his career was. Yeah, I remember on this podcast talking about how everyone in the industry thought that Luciano should not be a shortstop. And yet even Farhan Zaidi was doubling down on the fact that he was going to be the shortstop. Do you remember Farhan announced that he was going to be the opening day shortstop? I think in 2022?
I do. Yes. Yeah.
And so I just feel bad for the guy because clearly everyone with a baseball knowledge recognized that he was not a shortstop. And the Giants just stubbornly refused to admit that. And I feel like if he was younger and, in his younger days, they could have converted him to an outfield and gotten him up to speed there, then maybe he has a chance. But I feel like there's a lot of blame to go around on this one. And the thing that really upsets me is that he was just unceremoniously waived. And he had trade value as soon as 2 years ago. Like you read it how he was mentioned in trade talks with some really high-end players, and the Giants refused to include him. And now we're just waiving him because we need room for a Rule 5 draftee. It just boggles my mind. I hope he comes back and has like a great career because the Giants sure screwed it up.
No, I mean, without a doubt. Without a doubt. A bad story. The San Francisco organization did not do well by Marco Luciano. I don't love the fact that this is the second year in a row practically that we're saying that. Right? I mean, Joey Bart. I guess it's about almost 2 years different. But the fact of the matter is that two really high-profile prospects for the Giants just completely and totally mishandled. Now, both of those did happening during the bulk of Farhan Zaidi's tenure. So, that's just how the draft picks went for Farhan, and that's ultimately why he lost his job, because the farm never showed up. But, nonetheless, not a good look. Not a good look. All right, well, with that out of the way, it's now time for us to talk about the ever-exciting winter meetings, Matthew. This is the time of winter where everything starts to happen. It all comes together. The guys get out there in sunny...
Florida,
sunny Boca Raton.
Tampa Bay.
Wherever. Yeah, that place. And they all hobnob and they wheel and deal while they're drinking their pina coladas.
Exactly. Eating some Cubanos and just soaking in the sun.
Right. Yeah. Eating cigars while they soak in the sun.
A little side bit. I learned in one of the articles about the winter meetings that the suites in the hotel that they hold the meeting in are assigned based on seniority of the head of baseball operations or the GM.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you're saying Buster didn't get a good suite?
That's what I'm saying. Apparently, it was a really small suite, which I thought was fascinating. These little tidbits that you don't know about how baseball works, but it's all based on seniority. And it doesn't matter if you're like a soon-to-be Hall of Famer. No, you get the small suite. And apparently the Giants spent a lot of time outside the suite, though, because they kept cleaning up on all the winter meeting awards behind the scenes.
What do you mean cleaning up? They had to pick up all of the
No, they won a bunch of awards. They won.
Oh, okay. They were that kind of cleaning. Okay, I thought you were saying they made Buster bust stuff.
No, they won PR guy of the year. They won both visiting and home clubhouse guy of the year. And they also won the admin person of the year, which I didn't even know was a thing.
What does that mean? What does that person do?
I don't know, but the Giants cleaned up at all these awards, and so they were at all these award ceremonies and didn't have to spend so much time in their suite.
Okay, so there's some things that the Giants are good at. PR.
They're good at running an organization, apparently.
Yes, PR, administrative stuff, clubhouse guys. Yes. All right, well, good. Well, good for them. I knew there was a reason to be a Giants fan. All right. Okay. But also, in general, it's not a lot happening.
No, that's why I bring all that stuff up, because it was kind of the only
right.
thing.
And I don't just mean for the Giants. I mean, sure, the Orioles signed
Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
The big names that have come off the board are what? The Blue Jays got Dylan Cease.
Yep. The Dodgers signed Diaz.
That's right. That's right. Good. Spend a lot of money on your closer.
Yes. It's so funny how last year they spent so much money on relievers, and neither of those relievers made the postseason roster, and they just doubled down on it again and said, "All right,
yeah, okay, well, best of luck to them. Not that they need it. Okay, so Pete Alonso, and then Luis Schwarber went back to Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. But so not a lot has happened. Mr. Tucker is still out there. Imai is still out there. Framber Valdez is still out there. Ranger Suarez is still out there. Names that we'll talk about later in the show. But Matthew, there are some exciting things that did happen to the Giants. They did the lottery for the draft. And the Giants got a top 5 pick.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. That means they got lucky.
They got very lucky.
Because they were slotted to be what? The 15th or 12th pick?
Yeah, they were 15th, right? They were mediocre. They went 81 and 81. That gets you middle pick. That's the award for middle place, Matthew. Middle pick.
Unless you win the lottery.
Not if you win the lottery. So we're getting a top 5 pick. The Giants haven't picked that high since
Joey
checks
Bart.
Notes. Since Joey Bart.
But then there was Matt Williams before that, and Will Clark before that. There were some good top 5 picks that the Giants have had. And this draft seems to be very deep, apparently. So whoever drops to number 4 could very well have been the number 1 pick in the draft by most thoughts. So
okay,
I think this is a reason to be excited, because the Giants haven't picked that high in a long time. And I think what's great about that is that not only are the 4th pick of the draft, but then they're the 4th pick of the 2nd round and the 4th pick of the 3rd round. And so It just compounds, right? You get higher levels of players in each round. And I'm excited about that possibility. And I know that Randy Wynn is too.
Oh, I'm sure Randy is very excited. I would feel better if Al Rosen was picking whoever this would be. No offense, Misters Posey and Manazian and Wynn. But, I like the names Williams and Clark. Those are good names.
They are good names.
Yeah, but those guys aren't running the team anymore, Matthew. And then the Giants traded for a Rule 5 draftee? Is that what happened?
Well, so
somebody else drafted him.
Yes, I think the Twins drafted him.
Okay.
So what happened was that the Giants had been in talks with the A's about trading for Daniel Suzak, and the A's declined the whatever offer the Giants made, and decided they were going to roll the dice and leave him unprotected in the Rule 5 draft. Which is typical A's, because the Giants were like, oh, you're going to leave him unprotected? Well, let us just talk to one of the upper teams and see if we can work something out. And so they traded the Twins some cash to cover the cost of the Rule 5 draft and a low-level catching prospect for Daniel Suzak, who will now be known as Rule 5 draftee Daniel Suzak.
Oh, well, I'm happy for you, Matthew. I'm happy for you that you have now another Rule 5 draftee. The question is, will he last the entire season? Because he is going to be then the backup catcher.
Well, he certainly has the inside track because they gave up some draft capital for him, or some.
Well, and he's a Rule 5 draftee, so
he's got to stay on the roster. Yes, otherwise they've kind of given away a player for nothing. So I feel like he's probably going to be Patrick Bailey's backup.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Matthew, and say he's going to be the backup for at least 30 days, unless he proves to be awful in spring training, which I would be surprised by. Then he is definitely going to get at least a month of being the backup catcher. So our backup catcher is going to be a unproven rookie, Rule 5 draftee, Daniel Susac. Younger brother of
former Giants backup Andrew Susac, who backed up one Buster Posey.
So is that what you're saying? Are you implying, Matthew, that this is like, oh, Buster knows the Susacs?
Probably. There's a little bit to do with that. Yeah, I would imagine that there's some familiarity playing into this. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, it's just interesting. Well, that's cool. That's exciting. The Giants got a new catcher with a connection to the past. He's a Rule 5 draftee, so that's always fun. So yay, exciting. Interesting. Now let's talk about something that's not interesting. I mean, it is interesting, but it's not exciting, and it's certainly not fun.
What's that?
The Blue Jays, Matthew. The Blue Jays are spending all of the money.
The Blue Jays came within 1 out or 1 inning of winning the World Series, and now they're like, oh, okay, well, I guess we got to do a little bit more.
I guess we got to get better players who don't make base running mistakes and like throw the ball away
or give up home runs in the bottom of the 9th inning or the top of the 9th inning.
When the World Series is like basically yours to win, yours to lose.
One thing I will guarantee you, Ben, that Tyler Rogers would not give up a home run in the top of the 9th of Game 7 of the World Series.
No, he wouldn't, because he doesn't give up home runs ever.
Exactly.
And that matters because he signed for $37 million for 3 years, Matthew. I think I'm on record as saying I did not think that it would be this high. Like, I thought there was going to be a market for him, but not ever did I think it was going to be 10 plus over 3 seasons.
That's incredible, and good for Tyler Rogers. I like seeing guys like that get paid, especially since he's been, for most of his life, he was in the shadow of his twin brother.
Yep.
And now he's the guy getting paid, and good for him. I hope he does really, really well, except if he faces the Giants in the World Series.
As a brother who's been in the shadow of his brother, Matthew, how would that make you feel if you got
I thought you were going to tell me how it felt.
How it felt? Oh, when I didn't really pay attention to it. Money's just not it's not a thing for me.
No.
So
how did it feel when you won the Matt Henry Little Brother Award in high school?
That's not a real thing. That never happened. There's no Matthew Henry's Little Brother Award.
There was that year.
I'll tell you this though. There was a time by the time that I was hot stuff at our high school, everybody was calling you Ben Henry's older brother.
That's true. And as well, and I'm happy for you. I'm glad that came to be.
Yeah. So congrats to Tyler. Condolences to Taylor.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, All right. Something else that also happened it happened before the winter meetings, and we didn't really know where to put this in. So it's just something that's like noteworthy, but just more proof that bad things happen to good people like me. Casey Schmidt had wrist surgery.
I thought you were going to say bad things happen to good people like Casey Schmidt.
No, I'm sure Casey's a fine person.
He's a fine young man who deserves every chance to win the job of second base.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's not happy about this, too. I think he thinks it's bad for him, too, but it's also clearly bad for me, and that just sucks. Come on, man. He's got it all set up on a tee for him. never mind the Brendan Donovan rumors, whatever. But now that's what's happening, right? I know I'm skipping ahead here, but like,
You're only as good as your last health report.
That's true. So Casey Schmidt had surgery. He is expected to be back
in early spring training.
Yeah.
So he'll be back and better than ever. And honestly, it makes me feel better to know that what was holding him back from reaching his full potential last year required surgery. Like that's like, okay, fix it. Now come back and be the Casey Schmidt we know you can be, because I think, he could hit for power and be a good second baseman. I'm happy with Casey Schmidt. I don't think we need to give up draft capital for someone to replace him. Although I wouldn't sneeze at Brendan Donovan.
Brendan Donovan's pretty good. He's a pretty good all around player. And if he's available, you should definitely look into that. But yes. All right, but we're going to get into that. But first, we have to touch on one thing. We may have alluded to this in the opening. The Giants added some more coaches.
How do you feel about the new coaches, Ben?
The last thing that I remember Ron Washington do, Matthew, was send a young man out to make his major league debut early in the season last season. He pitched a clean, I think, 7th inning, and then Washington sent him back out there for the 8th, in which the young man blew the game, and I think took the L, and the team lost a game they were winning. That was that young man's first major league game. But also, it was his first professional game. Okay, listen, GM Manassian, what was that? First of all, so here you had a guy making his professional debut at the major league level, like never happens. And he pitches a clean inning in a game you're winning, and your bullpen's fine. You got a bunch of other guys who are more experienced and who should be ready to go, and instead you send him out there to take the L. That's the last thing I remember Ron Washington do. So, and there's just a lot of that in the Ron Washington history.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry.
Yes, he's got some history. But he also was a guru of infielders. So, both Bryce Eldridge and Rafael Devers, who are both kind of adapting to being first baseman, he could be a real asset to them. And, working with guys like Matt Chapman and Adames and, yes, even Casey Schmidt. That's what he's being hired for. He's not going to be like deciding who comes in out of the bullpen, Ben. He's going to be working his magic on the infielders.
That's fair. The other guy that I really like is going to be the one who's in Vitello's ear about all strategy. Anyway, but you're right. He taught Chris Pratt how to play first base, so I'm sure he'll be a great help.
Who played him in the movie? Do we know? I don't even remember.
What?
Do we know who played him in the movie? I don't know.
Yeah, Chris Pratt played Chris Pratt.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Hatterberg. He played Hatterberg, Matthew.
Well, I know, but who played Ron Washington in the movie?
Oh, I don't. I thought it was just Ron Washington.
Maybe it was.
Played Ron Washington.
I don't know.
No, that wasn't the real Ron Washington. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm thinking it was not, but that's just me.
Okay. Anyway, and then we got this other guy, Justin McCahay.
Ooh, let's just keep with that. I think we can just do Justin McCahay. That's what he'll be for the next year. It's massage.
What? It's massage?
It is. MECCAGE. What it just spells massage.
Is this another thing like the Hunter Pence thing?
Hunter Pence, yes.
Okay. So it's massage.
It is, apparently. That's what people are saying. I think we should go with that. But I like McCahay. I think we could roll with that one if you wanted to. But allegedly he's going to be the pitching coach, although the Giants have not announced what roles all these these coaches that they've amassed are going to be doing. You go to the Giants website and you click on the coaches link and it just says Tony Vitello, manager. There's no other coaches. Eventually, I think they will announce the role of every team. But I think it's interesting that they haven't done that yet. Like, what's holding them back?
They're still figuring it out. That would be my guess.
They're still like, one time, I work for the YMCA, and I remember one time I was I was opening up a new facility, and I was hiring a membership director, and I was recruiting her from a former Y that I had been at. And I promised her that if she agreed that she could be not only the membership, I would change her title to Grand Poobah of Membership. And she accepted. It worked.
Sweet.
And so on the very first day, she had business cards waiting on her desk that said Grand Poobah of Membership on her desk. And so I feel like that's what they're wrangling about right now. Someone's going to be the Grand Poobah of pitching.
Right.
And it might be Justin McCahay.
Right. So Mr. McCahay is going to be the Grand Poobah, and somebody else is going to be the pitching coach?
Maybe.
But the Grand Poobah is ahead of the pitching coach.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying is happening right now. These are the big important decisions that are being made at 24 Willie Mays Plaza. That's what's happening right now.
Exactly.
That's what's happening.
Yes.
I can't wait for this season, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited if that's what's happening. All right. I look forward to Mr. McCahay, Grand Poobah of pitching. All right. It's time for us to move on, thankfully, to the next topic of the show. Free agency.
Free? Gratis? Agency?
Yeah, gratis agency. Agency gratis.
I like how we're just making up words here. Yes, free agency. Yes, Ben.
Matthew, it's December 14th and nothing has happened for years. We're doing our best here.
Man, this time last year we signed Willie Adames, and you and I were doing like emergency pods.
Yeah, remember the good old days?
Then Buster got conservative.
Well. So what it was is the accountant said, "No, man, we really don't have any money left. We really don't. It was like, what? But it's millions and millions." And you're like, yeah, and we spent it all, and by we I mean you, Buster. You spent it all. But nonetheless, there's a roster to improve. There is a bullpen to build, and the Giants took the second step towards that goal by signing their first free agent of the year, Matthew, left-handed reliever, Sam Hentges.
Sure.
Henches.
For
I'm
a
presuming it is
cool
pronounced.
$1.4 million?
That means he's good, right?
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't mean he isn't.
No, it
right?
does not. And that is an important point, because do not judge the pitchers that the Giants bring in based on what they've done in the past and how much money they're making, because with relief pitching, you never know. If you go back to last year and look at the top 10 relievers of last year, none of them, and I mean none of them, were making more than $2 million a year. I mean, they were the guys that were they got brought in to fill minor league camp and stuff like that. But my point is that relief pitchers are a dime a dozen, and you never know. So Sam Hentges could be the best free agent signing of the frickin' year. We don't know that, and you can't judge it this early in the year. That's all I'm saying.
Now, Matthew, I seem to remember somebody out there in the baseball world saying that the Giants just needed to go get a bunch of guys who can throw hard.
That was me. I said that. Yes.
Oh,
and
that was you.
This is one of those guys. He's 6'6", 245 or whatever. Yes. Get me lots of those guys. Just go sign them. Lots of big country hard throwing guys that can just, rear back and throw 99. That's all I want. Let's see what sticks.
Guys that play country hardball and can throw that old speed ball by you.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
To honor the great Bruce Springsteen. Yes.
Right. Exactly. Okay. And you believe that Sam Hentges fits that bill?
I don't believe it. I just wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Ah, okay. So you don't have any inside information.
Dude, his name is Sam Hentges. Do you know who he is?
I know that he was born in Shoreview, Minnesota. He was drafted by the Cleveland Indians in the 4th round of the 2014 June amateur draft. I know that he went to Mounds View High School in Arden Hills, Minnesota. I know that his name is pronounced Hentges.
Mm-hmm.
Hentges. And he exceeded his rookie limit in 2021. He pitched 68 innings in 2021, 62 in 2022, 52 in 2023, and then 23 last year, even though by ERA plus it was his best year. His whip was 0.97. In 2022, his whip was 0.96. He did do the every other year thing, though, with bad whips in 2021 and 2023, and I regret to... Oh, he missed all of 2025! So this is a big time injury guy. This is a Farhan move.
This is a let's just bring guys into camp and see what happens move.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. So good news is it's an even year for him, so it should be good. All right. Well, so that's our one free agent signing. The good news is, Matthew, that means the Giants have saved a lot of money for the top of the market. So they got a lot of money left over to go out there and get the big fish. We're going to get Imai and Ranger Suarez, and we're going to get Tyler. Oh, wait. No. We're going to... why are you shaking your head at me like that? What?
Because they're... No. You're going to get guys like Sam Hentges, and you're going to like it. Okay, there's not going to be anybody worth in the double-digit figure market here. Okay, Kenley Jansen signed an $11 million contract with the Detroit Tigers. We're not even Kenley Jansen level. Okay, it is. We're more like Hentges level, $1.4 million. Okay, that's not going to happen. We're not going to spend money on relievers to come in and fill that gap.
What about Ranger Suarez then as a starting pitcher?
Starting pitchers. Let's see. What is Ranger supposed to be getting? What is his? And why are you so? Because
I read one article that said the Giants were going to get him.
So his market value is $26 million a year, $27 million a year, according to Spotrac.
Are you saying that's too much?
I'm saying that's too much. That's not going to happen, dude.
So no Ranger Suarez?
No, but you should get really excited by like a guy named Michael Kopech.
But I was going to go to the games dressed as a Power Ranger.
Jose Quintana?
I was going to be the Black Power Ranger because of all the lore. You could have been the pink one.
Oh.
If you wanted to be.
I have thoughts about the Pink Power Ranger, but this is not the place or time to discuss that.
Oh, well, then you could have been the green one.
Okay. I don't even remember the green one. I was too focused on the pink one. Anyway, Framber Valdez, Ranger Suarez, those guys are out of our league, Ben. We're not spending any money on them. Why are you looking at me?
I'm trying to decide whether to leave this in or cut it all out right now. But we're gonna talk about that after the show, young man.
Ben, we could bring in starting pitcher Zach Littell.
You know what? I'm listening.
The last time we saw Zach Littell, he was yelling at Gabe Kapler as he exited the mound, I think, wasn't he?
Oh, was that Littell?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And Littell was done. He was done as a Giant.
We never saw Zach Littell again.
But, Kapler was eventually done too. So, bygones.
Bygones, exactly. And it's funny, though, because Littell... got turned into a starter and actually did pretty well as a starter. So
that's what I'm saying.
If he helped the Giants win, I'd take him.
All right. Okay, so you're saying the Giants likely not to spend a lot of money. My whole dream of us dressing up as Power Rangers at the games is out the window because of financial considerations.
Yes, because our friend Andrew Baggerly, friend of the show, said, according to club sources, because of a number of financial considerations, the Giants do not anticipate making the 9-figure investment required to sign, and in this case, Amai, or any of the other top pitchers on the free agent market, end quote. So financial considerations, Ben, meaning like they're still paying Blake Snell $17 million this year to pitch for the Dodgers. They got $10 million tied up in the manager position between Melvin, Vitello, and the University of Tennessee. The private equity investors that they brought in last year to give them an influx of cash probably want to see a positive cash flow. Don't want to see negative balance sheets.
Typically that's what investors like. Yeah,
exactly. And I wouldn't know because I've never had enough money to invest, but allegedly. And, even though attendance has gone up over the last couple of years, the Giants are saying, well, most of those tickets were discounted.
That is true. They did a lot of discounts. Like, we all know that from our email, listeners. Like, we all got those emails, right? Like, we knew it was happening. But the point is, they were sending those emails years ago. And they weren't working, so it's still things are going in the right direction.
The final thing that was in the Baggerly article, though, was something about the TV landscape being bad, and this is where a lot of teams, especially the Dodgers, get their cash, right? And you've got all of these regional sports stations that are like going under, that are struggling. The Giants, I think, are actually like equity partners in NBC Sports Bay Area. So they're not exactly like raking in the dough on the TV landscape.
But they didn't have any. I don't like this as an excuse because it's not like they're not losing money here. They made this deal years ago. Like, this is not like, oh, suddenly we're losing money because our TV deal isn't good. It's like, what? Like, no. Like, this isn't like these other teams. They literally had their contracts pulled out from underneath them. And then the teams that were the companies that were like doing it went bankrupt. That's not what's happening to the Giants. This isn't. See, this is the kind of BS that just like this is like, oh, the Dodgers spent all of this money, so we have to have a salary cap. Like,
how do you really feel, Ben?
Mr. Johnson, I understand a lot of times what you're saying, and I understand the whole money thing, but then this other time you try to blow this snow that, like, I'm like, do you really think we're buying this crap? And that's one of them. Like, this is like trying to use the Dodgers as an excuse.
Calm down, Ben.
I can't, Bob, sometimes I feel like you don't understand what the show, man.
That's definitely the alcohol talking.
Well, right now, Bob, I got to tell you, as far as the two brothers on this show go, I am the sober one right now. So we're doing the best we can, my man.
How's your liver, Ben?
It's better than my brother's.
Probably. But these holiday old fashions are pretty great.
Yeah. Do you mean winter old fashions, Matthew?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. All right. So what that means then, we're gonna need to trade. We're gonna need to trade our way out of mediocrity.
Yeah, well, right, because you can't spend at the top of the market. Then you should trade for guys. Yeah. And apparently, Ben, you could get some really great talent for one Bryce Eldridge.
God damn it!
Can we not have nice things?
Well, seriously, why can this not go away? Like, what are you trying to do here? Are you trying to take the one good prospect story that you have and just yank it away for us? For what? A dump truck full of garbage. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get so many arms and so many old dudes and never will be's, and you're going to dump them all over the field in front of us and be like, look what we got. And in 2 years, we're going to be like, wow, that was a load of hot garbage. But I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a load of hot garbage.
Hey, man.
It better be like something that amazing.
You could get Andrew McCutchen. That's for Bryce Eldridge. You totally
You could get every single pirate except one, and I'm including Joey Bart in that.
Well, absolutely, Joey Bart.
You could get the entire Pirates roster.
But what if it was that one? Would you trade Bryce Eldridge?
Yes, I would trade Bryce Eldridge for the guy who's clearly better. Yes, I would.
Okay, so that's the point, right? That's the point. Like, Bryce Eldridge is available for the right price. The right price is the best pitcher in the National League.
I just feel like it's going to be a dump truck full of hot garbage. That's what I feel like. If it happens, that's what I feel like is going to end up happening. And I'm going to have to get that tattoo, and I'm not looking forward to it. I don't want a tattoo.
Well, Ben, you don't have to worry about that because there's a lot of like just middling starting pitchers that are available via trade that we could get for like a Carson Whisenhunt and a, I don't know, player to be named later. I don't know.
Oof. But we apparently can't get them for a Marco Luciano, though.
Well, no, because we drove his value into the ground.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, despite all of that, I have to say this because we mentioned his name earlier, even though this show is running way long at this point.
Oh, no, it's not. We got plenty of time, dude. We're 2 weeks, man. We're going to give our fans a full hour plus.
Oh, well, because the other thing that the Giants are trading, the other player that they're looking to acquire, at least according to the rumor mill, is Brendan Donovan, a name we mentioned earlier in the podcast, and now I need to close the loop on. And it makes more sense that they're talking about this because of the issues with one Casey Schmidt. Like, maybe it would make sense to go get a more established guy who, A, is established, and B, is healthy. Whereas your penciled-in starting second baseman is neither. So, and I got to tell you, I wouldn't hate this. I would feel bad for Casey for sure, but I would not hate Brendan Donovan as our opening day second baseman.
Well, no. I mean, you go to his Baseball Savant page, and there's a lot of red.
Yeah,
there's a lot of red. He's a good player. And you look at Casey Schmitz, and there's a lot of blue.
This is what I'm saying. I'm just saying don't trade Bryce Eldridge for Brendan Donovan. And I'm not saying Brendan Donovan is a pile of hot garbage, but it's just underwhelming. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you came to me, I would be like, what else are you getting? I'm not going to be happy to have the conversation, Buster, but you better have something else up your sleeve.
But the nice thing about Brendan Donovan is that Eldridge is not being like thrown around as the name for Brendan Donovan.
No, yeah. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, just don't trade him. That's what I'm saying. Just don't.
Yeah, I agree. As much as, yes, he's your biggest trade chip, I would really like the Giants for once to just see what they got. Just let's let this go. We're gonna add another like international player that's gonna be a top 100 draftee this year, allegedly. We got the number 4 pick in the draft. You know, you don't need to like turn this Eldridge into some other player. Let's see what Eldridge can do. Let's have a homegrown star. What's wrong with that? I think we should go for it. Just let him be Bryce Eldridge and see what we got.
That's right. The brave thing to do is let the kid play. Be brave.
Now, to be clear, don't make him a brave.
No, that's right. And don't become
brave.
A brave like Yaz did.
Right.
Congrats to him, by the way, also.
Exactly. Getting paid. I love it.
Yeah, that's right. No, like I'm lowercase b on the brave. What I'm saying is don't be a coward. That's what I'm saying. All right.
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
Well, Bob, we've both had a lot. So I don't think that's a good idea.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Oh, I get it. Yeah. Bob, I'm drinking a cocktail that I called the Calamansi Margarita. A Calamansi Margarita. It's either the Calamansi Margarita or the Calamansi Margarita. And what is in the Calamansi Margarita? Well, it has 2 ounces of Blanco Tequila. You can use a Reposado if you like throwing away your money. It also has 1 ounce of Cointreau, or any orange liqueur that you prefer. Then it has 1 ounce of Calamansi lime juice. What is a Calamansi lime?
Yeah, what is a Calamansi lime?
It's like a little green lime that, like, when it gets ripe, it kind of like turns orange, and it kind of tastes like it's got the tartness of a lime and a little bit of lime flavor, but also kind of tastes a little bit like an orange. It was made for a margarita. But they're tiny, like kumquat tiny. And so you gotta squeeze a lot of them. And so that's kind of a pain. But anyway, it's really good. And then you put all of that into a shaker with ice. You shake it up until it's chilled, and then you pour that over a glass of fresh ice with a salted rim if you want, or without. And I'm going to serve this with no garnish because it's really hard to work with these tiny little limes, and you're going to need all of them to be intact to get as much juice as you can out of these little suckers. So no garnish. And that's what I'm drinking. The Calamansi Margarita.
That's a tasty cocktail.
It was really good, Bob. It had this kind of like buttery quality. Like, I don't mean it was buttery flavored, but it had a texture to it that was different. I really liked it.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, before I do that, I'm still like wondering about this Calamansi Margarita. Like my mind is blown. Tequila and Cointreau, and then this like orange lime thing. I've never heard of a Calamansi lime. Now I gotta go find it.
Yes, it's spelled Calamansi. You could also just go see how it's spelled on the show notes, but I think it is also sometimes spelled with a K. And yeah, it's a fancy lime. It's a fancy lime. Yeah.
All right, well, Bob, I am drinking the Holiday Old Fashioned. What's in a Holiday Old Fashioned? Well, it's got 2 ounces of bourbon or rye if you want a little spicier kick to it. I am actually using tonight a Redwood Empire, is it Monarch? I can't remember the name, but it's a blend of bourbon and rye, which is delicious with a little bit of a spicy note at the end. And I got a 1/4 ounce to a 1/2 ounce of spiced Demerara syrup. Now, this is the spiced Demerara syrup I have been using for a while. Again, it's 2 parts Demerara sugar, 1 part water. And then once you bring that to a simmer and stir to incorporate the sugar, then you throw in some cinnamon sticks and some cloves and some allspice berries. You remove it from heat and you let it steep while it cools. And you strain it all out, and you've got this wonderful spiced syrup that could be used for a lot of things during the holidays. So that's what I'm using. Then I got 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, 2 dashes of orange bitters, and 1 dash of Aztec chocolate bitters. I will say the chocolate bitters this last time was a mistake because I thought that I was putting cardamom bitters in there. And they're right next to each other in my cabinet. And once I realized I'd done the dash and I looked at it and I was like, oops. And then I tasted it and it was pretty darn good. So I'm going with the chocolate bitters. You put all those into a mixing glass with ice, give it a good stir for about 30 seconds, strain it into a rocks glass with a large chunk of ice, express an orange peel over it and drop it in the glass. And of course, add a brandied cocktail cherry. And you've got a wonderful holiday old fashioned.
Potato, tomato.
That's what I'm drinking, Bob. The holiday old fashioned.
That's a tasty cocktail.
It really is. And it's my go-to favorite. I've been bringing it to like all my like holiday parties and everybody loves it. And so that's what I'm drinking tonight. Really enjoying it.
It's called the Lost Monarch.
Thank you. The Lost
American
Monarch.
whiskey.
I knew there was the word monarch was in it. I just couldn't remember exactly what it was called.
It's Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. A blend of straight whiskeys. And it has a picture of a man, I don't know, John Muir maybe, with the top of his head cut off and a forest growing where his cranium should be.
Anyway, that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks, which is after the Christmas holiday. So if you celebrate that holiday, Merry Christmas. And I hope you get whatever you want for Christmas. Ben got a Tsuyoshi Shinju bobblehead doll.
I did.
And thanks to listener Scott, a clear ice set that is a 20-sided die.
That's right. Thank you, Scott.
Scott doubled Ben's holiday gifts from me because he told me after I'd already bought the Tsuyoshi Shinju bobblehead doll. So I hope that you, listener, get something as fun as one of those gifts. May
all of your gifts be Tsuyoshi Shinjo bobbleheads and anything in the shape of a dodecahedron.
Ooh, dodecahedron. I like that word. Anyway, if you can't wait to reach out to us or listen to us in those 2 weeks, you can reach out to us on the socials. We're at Giant Cocktails on all the places. You can also listen to us on YouTube where you can leave comments. And you can also listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts where you can also review us with a 5-star review. Remember, we read all of the 5-star reviews on our podcast, so please go do that. That would be a wonderful Christmas present for me. Ben, it was great talking Giants with you. Even though nothing really happened, we were able to fill over an hour. Until next time, cheers, my friend.
Cheers, Matthew. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Barry Bonds belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. Until next time, bottoms up.
Matthew, a dodecahedron, of course, has 12 sides. What I meant was an icosahedron.
Icosahedron?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Icosahedron.
Kind of like Masahe.
That's right. That's right.
Or Mekahe. Yes.
Mekahe. Exactly. Icosahedron, I'm going to say. Icosahedron. I knew it wasn't a duodecahedron because I knew that was 12. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, that's wrong.
And I don't know why you would give me crap about liking the pink Power Ranger. I don't just.
Well, there's nothing wrong with liking the pink Power Ranger so much as it's like, liking any of the colored Power Rangers. It's not that you prefer that Power Ranger over the others and that you get excited and you're like, oh, yeah, I love the way the pink Power Ranger kicks ass. It's the way that you described it.
She was really cute. That's all I remember. That's just,
You mean what she looked like when she wasn't wearing her Power Ranger costume? Because most of the time, Matthew, she's wearing a mask.
Yes, what she looked like without the mask. Yes, that's that.
Did you know? Not the same person.
No, really?
Yeah, the people acting are not the people in the costumes because the people in the costumes were in the Japanese version, which was an entirely different show for many years. And all of the parts with the actors was just new dialogue and new content that was then pasted together with the existing content to make this Frankenstein show.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, I think at least that's how it was when it started. It got so popular that I think later it changed. But yeah.
All right, well, then I'm glad that I don't ever give a second thought to the Power Rangers nowadays.
Yeah. Really?
No, not
I
really.
think about them at least once a day. It's like I guess that's my Rome.
Bob, what do you think about the
How do you say wow in Korean?
hit the wrong button again? I'm like just doing great.
You made Bob drunk. You're so drunk. Bob is drunk. That's how drunk you are.
Bob, what do you think about the Power Rangers?
I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah, I know.
Bob.
I know. That's true.
Come
That's
on,
true.
dude. Like, listen,
Dodgers suck.
I'm just hitting all the buttons right now.
well, that's always true, Bob. That's always true. Bob, are you drunk?
Bob, just tell them what they can do.
Like and subscribe, people.